Hey folks, today we're going to deviate a little bit from what I normally do, and we're going to show you some of my airsoft guns which have been sitting in mothballs. So yep, gotta blow it all that dust out. I might have to get duster gas to blow all this dust off, no pun intended. And duster gas has another use other than blowing dust off. If you didn't know, you can actually use it as a substitute for green gas. Well, anyway, going back to the topic of today's video discussion is I've got two airsoft rifles to show you. Some updates more or less because I already did reviews on them. As you can guess, they're AR variants. We got the ICS M4A1 anniversary right here. This one was made in 2006. This is the Olympic Arms Trades one with the black body. It's not the gray body, unfortunately. Those are very, very, very difficult to get nowadays. I wouldn't mind actually having another. I wouldn't actually wouldn't mind tracking down a gray body or another one of these Olympic Arms ARs made by ICS back in the good old days. I've added a ready mag to it, and I've converted the stock, which used to fold to the left hand side, and it can't do that anymore because, well, it can fold, but it won't sit properly because of the ready mag system. And yes, this is from the 727. I got tired of the look of it on the 727 and I moved it to this rifle. I got it to fold to the right. And how you do that? You turn the whole mechanism around. So you got to take not only this part out, which are held in by two 4mm Allen head screws. You also got to take the stock off and reverse it. And reverse. Turn it around. While you also turn the mechanism around, and there you go, voila! You'll have it. You'll have the ability to fold it to the right hand side. That is freaking uber cool. You don't see too many right hand side folding weapons. Sorry, I'm having some Biden moments. You only really see that on MP5s. Not too much on AKs. Fold this way. Oh, a G36 does fold this way. Yeah, that's a different one. MP5 and G36. Some G3s. They have right-hand side folding stocks. M4s are always on the left-hand side. M16 doesn't have a folding stock. It's a fixed stock. Yeah, that pretty much covers everything I've done so far. There's more that I want to do to it. Typically speaking, modern airsoft I'm retired from. Don't do that as much anymore, but I am an emotional softie when it comes to the airsoft guns from that period, because I'm from, as you know, the late 2000s. So I started 15 years ago, back in 2007. So this is the kind of stuff I used to look at in the door on the internet, on Airsplat and Airsoft GI, evike.com, which wasn't as big as it is now, but it was big nonetheless. And yeah. Kapowie, if anybody remembers Kapowie, they had a couple of these. I'm trying to think of Shorty USA had a couple of these. I can't remember what else. PrecisionAirsoft.net also was a distributor for ICS. Evike even had a special one where they give you the gun, an ACOG scope, and a box mag for like $420. I happen to have one of those, but I bought it secondhand off my friend, classmate Reese. I have a video of it on my old channel, Rainbow Six Airsoft. You guys can check it out. I'll try to put the link in the description. I'll remember this time to do that. I don't have that rifle anymore. Fortunately, I parted it out and gave it to a friend for free. Wasn't a wise decision on my part. I could have put it back together, but I just didn't have the time. So that covers the ICS. I'm gonna do more to it slowly. Next, that one was made in 2006, by the way. So that's a now almost 16-year-old rifle. And another tip I should pass to you guys before I switch to the next rifle. If you're letting this thing sit, look after it, because the parts that are made of steel start to rust, even though we're in climate controlled conditions here. I don't know how, but rust finds its way on steel parts even indoors. And you'll really see that more clearly with this rifle here. This is a 2008. This is from good old 2008. This is a KWA M4A1. Now both these rifles I had internal work done as of 2019. They were operable. I shot this one last year, and this one I haven't shot for about maybe 2 or 3 years, but it was sitting for a long time and I wanted it operational. I didn't know it was gonna sit this long, but I don't know. I gotta hook up a battery to it and find out if it still fires or not. If not, then I gotta take it in and have it serviced again. Yeah, this one actually belonged to a high school classmate of mine. Well, he's a year older than me. This was his gun that he had bought in high school, and I got it from him a couple of years ago. This one had, if you guys remember, it had a system of turbo motor and system of gears. He wanted to sell it to me at the time for $500 back in high school. And then I ended up getting it from him for $110. He was well out of airsoft by that point, and he just didn't care. As long as he knew it went to a good home, that's all that mattered to him. The reason why he wanted to get $500 is because he thought he could get his money back for whatever he had put into the gun. The motor and gears alone cost him like $100 each, $50 to $100 each, and he tried. I guess wanted to make a little bit of a profit, but ended up holding onto the rifle. And I bumped into him one day, and I said, "Hey, man, how you doing? We were just talking story, catching up." I said, "By the way, you still have your KWA M4?" I said, "Yeah, I still got it." And one thing led to another, and ended up getting the rifle from him. And still in great shape. I mean, apart from some parts that had oxidized over time. Steel's gonna oxidize. Front sight's a little bit oxidized. I don't know what metal it's made out of, but it's not rusty or battered as the handguard rig. But nothing a little steel wool can't take care of or whatever. The pins, you can see a little bit starting to. It's more or less surface rust. It's not pitting. If it was pitting, then I'd be worried. And this rifle is almost 15 years old and holding up really, really well cosmetically. I just love these things. Not a short time ago, I would just look at these on the internet and just be fascinated with them. I could never afford them because I was only working one job as a newspaper route carrier or paper boy. I only made 134 cents a paper. My route was on the weekends only because I had school 5 days a week, and really I only brought home like just under $300. That would buy me one rifle, but other things got in the way. I always wanted a KW at the time, but just never really pushed myself to get one. But I always envied them. I had a couple of instances where I was this close to getting it, but it just never quite happened. And bad decisions too. I made some bad decisions, some bad calls at the time. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you that. It's a little different from what we normally do here on Kilimanjaro 808, but I'll let you know right now. If you don't know now, if you didn't know then, you'll know now. I am very attached. While I don't do modern airsoft as much anymore, I am very attached to airsoft guns from that period, the 2000s. The late 2000s, we want to be very specific. This is the stuff that I grew up with. I was surrounded by. I would literally talk to people who brought this with them to Nimitz or Power Rage or whatever, what have you. I made friends with them because they had a really cool KWA M4 or M16 or something like that. And it just humbles me to see that how much time has gone by since these things came out, and how airsoft has changed greatly since that time period. I even made this very account in 2008. April of 2008 to be very specific. And I do have a video that I gotta upload. I just found it on my Dropbox about me announcing how I made this channel, Kilimanjaro 808. So I'll get that up for you. I made that at the ending of 2018. So this channel in itself is almost 15 years old. That's how long I've been around. But yeah, that's what I want to show you guys. So far in terms of my modern airsoft, what's now considered vintage airsoft collection. That's all I got for show and tell today. There's a couple more guns from this period I like to collect. But my main focus, again, as you all know, it's World War II reenacting or Operation Gothic Serpent. From those two periods, that's really what I focus on. While we're at that, I think our next review is going to be on this one right here. This is a King Arms 1928 electric blowback. This is the fake wood one. We're going to do a review on this pretty soon. So that'll be probably the next video, or if not the video at some point in the future. That's my meat and potatoes right there, guys. But again, for like the fourth or fifth time, this is my roots. This is a direct link to my past. This is what I started off with. Right here, from the good old 2000s. This was my meat and potatoes in 2008, 2009, even into 2010. 2011-ish, a little bit. I kind of took a backseat a little from playing airsoft that year. But I just mainly worked on guns at home from 2012 till like 2016. And then I made a comeback. And that's where that whole reenacting stuff really tied in with my airsoft comeback as a player. So anyway, guys, I gotta get to bed. I'm gonna hit the hay, and thanks for watching.